Good afternoon, Carmel High School, and happy Valentine's Day. I'm Tara Lacey alongside Stephen Abshire, bringing you today's third senior show of the 2017-2018 school year.
It's great to be back for our first show of 2018.
In today's show, Stephen will bring some local news, followed by Jackson and Sean covering Carmel sports, and then a newest addition to our show, Alex Hicks, wrapping it up with what to expect at the box office this weekend.
Carmel students in elementary schools could have something to look forward to in the upcoming years as the school district is considering lengthening recess time district-wide. The current recess lasts just 15 minutes a day and is shorter than Westfield, Noblesville, and HSE, which see anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes a day. Increasing recess time would ultimately extend the school day for elementary students, something previous Superintendent Dr. Wall said they were not considering last year. Since then, the district sent out a survey as part of an analysis of elementary school programming and found overwhelming support from the community towards extra playtime. Carmel Clay Schools did implement short brain breaks at the elementary schools last year that, through studies, has shown to benefit children by relieving stress and allowing them to prepare for the next lesson. The school board has brought forth the main issue that increasing the day would have a large impact on bus scheduling across the district, but the board is still strongly considering the extension.
This is a fantastic way for students to stay active more often during the school day. I look forward to what the board will come up with.
Me too, and although it will not have an impact on me in any direct ways, it's interesting to see how education has changed in just the 6 or 7 years since I was in elementary school.
Not just at the elementary schools, but at the high school as well.
That's right, Tara. We looked into the AP Statistics class here at the high school and how it's using a hands-on approach to help students understand the subject. Let's take a look.
The idea for the Stat Carnival started at the Tipton Pork Festival when I was there with my kids and they were riding the rides and there were carnival games, and I was just looking at people playing them thinking, this could be fun to actually have my students do this. So at the end of the year when we had time after the AP exam, and we had about 2 weeks that year, it was trying to figure out what do we do. So I gave students the option of either building a carnival game or doing a research project that involved running an experiment. We only had maybe 45 to 50 kids that actually came down and played the games. And after that year, I made it just a mandatory project because everybody seemed to enjoy it so well. It did a great job of applying what we learned in class to an actual activity they could do. So I made it mandatory. So the second year we had probably 30 games. Last year we had 35 games. This year we were at 42 games. So I bet we probably had about 300 kids probably come to the carnival. For the students, I think it helps them make that connection with the probability and statistics, with how it can be used in the real world. Now, I don't think any kids are in the business of building carnival games in the real world, but seeing how what we're doing does connect with probability and chance gives them a little bit perspective on how we can apply with what we're doing in the classroom.
When we learned stuff in stats, a lot of the stuff had to do with what we had to do in our project. For instance, we had to take test results, analyze them, find an average, compare that average, and see how much we'd have to actually price our game to end up making a certain amount of money, which we didn't need to do, but we wanted to make it realistic. And we ended up finding a test average per person that was very close to what we found when we actually tested it at the stats fair.
For the school, I think it's nice for students to see that what's occurring in their classrooms is applicable. Even if they're not in AP Statistics, to be able to see a group of 180, 190 kids running a carnival using stuff they learned in class, it may make them think a little more about my classes, that even though I'm not in AP Stats, my classes probably have some relevance to the real world as well.
The carnival this year was really fun. I've never done it before, so my favorite part was just getting to take one idea and another idea, bring it together full circle, and get to see the final outcome and see how great my project was compared to other people's.
I think my favorite part is seeing the different games that kids come up with and how creative they are, and then watching everyone seem to like different games. Because I certainly have my favorites as the kids come in and they deliver them to class that day. We return from break. They bring their games in, I play them, I look at their statistical model, and I have my own personal opinions, but once the kids come and play on the day of the carnival, it's interesting to see how some love this game, others like a different game, so the different variety is probably my favorite part, seeing how creative the kids are and everything they come up with. I think my biggest goal is just for it to continue at the same success rate, probably. I think it's really enjoyable. The kids like it, who build the games and run the games. The students I have in AP Stats enjoy that part of it. And the kids who come to play the games seem to really enjoy it. So I'm kind of happy with where it is right now, honestly.
For our next segment, we hand it off to Jackson and Sean, who give us some information on the girls swimming team winning their 32nd state title for Carmel High School and how the boys swimming team is preparing for sectionals this upcoming weekend.
Thanks, Tara. I'm Jackson Yuri, and welcome to this edition of the Senior Show Sport Report. Today we're focusing on the topic of excellence, a concept not foreign to Carmel sports, but is especially familiar with the swimming program here at the high school.
You're absolutely right, Jackson. The girls swimming and diving team racked up their 32nd straight state title this past weekend, beating the rest of the competition by over 100 points.
However, it's not as if the girls were swimming with amateurs by any means. Although swimmers Trudy Rothrock and Kelly Pash won the 100 butterfly and 100 free, along with both of the medleys, they were up against tight competition in other events.
The girls even witnessed a national record being set in the 100-meter breaststroke by Emily Weiss, a junior out of Yorktown, with a time of 58.4 seconds. Absolutely incredible. Great work to the girls on securing another title, and best of luck as they continue their quest now for another national title.
However, although everyone may know of the girls' famous streak, we can't forget about the other great team that shares the exact same pool, the boys' swimming team.
Last year, the boys added their third straight state title and a national title go along with it. Impressive, but these feats still seem little in comparison to what the girls have done. But don't sleep on the guys' team just because of that. Jackson and I sat down with boys swimmer Andrew Jones to discuss what it's like for the boys to compete and the potential to build a second swimming dynasty here at Carmel High School.
People know Carmel girls swimming is the best that it gets. Right now, sure. We've seen what they deserve, certainly, and we've seen what they earned, and we set out to do the same. So we've seen greatness. We see all the media attention they get, stuff like that, especially 2-3 years ago when they set the record for longest streak in the nation. So and compared to where we were at the point, we've definitely grown quite a bit. We've experienced a lot more success since then. So we feel that we're following in those footsteps and creating a chart of path for them. Right now, last year, for instance, we were national champions and the girls were national champions as well, and we fully expect to do the same this year. There were times like my freshman, sophomore year here where we went into the state meet not knowing what was going to happen. We still won, but my sophomore year we won by 1 point. It was close. So, the girls were setting all sorts of records then while we were just narrowly kind of starting our streak right now that we're on. But I'd certainly say the past few years it's transformed. We expect to be the best team in the nation just as they do, and our goals line up very closely. Right now the guys are set up to add more to what we have right now than the girls are actually. We expect to probably win by a bigger margin at state than they will, and that will just continue to grow. So it'll be close. I mean, Carmel's always figured out a way to get better. There's always challenges that stand in the way from these streaks. Obviously, the girls, going on 32 years now, they faced a lot over those 32 years and years where it didn't look like they would win, and they figured out a way. So I feel like both teams are perfectly competent of figuring out a way to continue, although the guys are currently better set up. The guys' perception is certainly growing. As for when we go to meets and stuff like that, it is just a crazy anti-Carmel both ways, guys and girls. We understand it because I'd hate us too. I wouldn't say they help each other train, especially at the highest level. But I wouldn't say it's too competitive. Oh, we won state, you scored this much. It doesn't get too divisive at all, especially this type of year. Championship season, as we all go through what they call the 4 quarters, sectional prelims, sectional finals, state prelims, state finals. All those meets, you're just trying to get as many people through as possible. Each team's there, they're encouraging. It's certainly a family atmosphere. Coach Ian Murray once said, and he left the program a little while ago, said the Carmel programs have been successful because they're not as concerned with state championships as other teams are. we're hunted. People go to state going, let's beat Carmel. We go going, all right, let's see what we can do to win a national championship. Our goals are set higher than just a state championship. So that's in part what fuels the streaks. And it's cool that my freshman year it started to say maybe I was the start of this long streak. But there's a lot ahead. But right now the setup looks great. And I know the program, Carmel Swimming, they face challenges and they're always ready to overcome them. So if it ever looks like it might end, I think they'll find a way.
The boys' team definitely seems to be set for success at the time, being with legendary swimmers like Drew Kibler, who many regard as the best swimmer in IHSA history, at the helm. But to build a dynasty, you must build for the future as well.
So, in order to analyze the possible future success of the team, Jackson and I are going to look at the two youngest classes, the freshmen and sophomores, and give a detailed analysis of the talent in each grade that could carry this team for long term. First up, the sophomores.
Well, you can't bring up the sophomore class without acknowledging the special talent that is Wyatt Davis. Davis is multi-talented and has no real weak spot. He won the 100 back last year as only a freshman and has been dominant all year in 200 individual medley, as well as the 500 free. This kid is a real stud.
But it's going to take more than one swimmer to build a dynasty. Nobody can do it alone.
That's absolutely right, and which is why I also want to mention Winston Foltz. He may not compete in the state meet this year, but he's been a solid contributor in competitive medley relays so far and has a bright future as a contributor and solid scorer for the Hounds.
It seems like this team definitely has a solid leader to build around in Wyatt Davis, but honestly, I'm more excited for the freshman class this year. Similar to Wyatt, they have a stud in the backstroke in Griffin Hadley, who's also expected to compete in the 100-meter back in the state meet as only a freshman.
It seems like the Hounds are going to have backstroke on lock for years to come.
Oh, for sure. Even if one of the two has an off night, the other can easily pick up the slack, and it seems like there's never a day where both of them don't perform. However, they aren't entirely reliant on just those two either. Two other freshmen, Will Plum and David Gabrick, are absolutely killing it in the medley so far this year. And having such a deep roster with young talent will allow for the other individual stars to rest up for their special events.
This team seems like the perfect combination of young and old talent, and honestly, I think the rest of this state should get ready for years to come of Carmel dominance.
I couldn't agree more, Jackson. The future of this program looks like it has plenty of winning and very little problems in the future. Well, that's all we have for this sports update. Now back to you, Tara.
Thanks, guys, and good luck to the boys swimming team this weekend. Now let's send it on over to Alex Hicks, who gives us a preview on the new upcoming movie, Black Panther.
Thanks, Tara, and good afternoon, Carmel High School. My name is Alex Hicks, and I'm here with your entertainment update. Marvel Studios is releasing one of its most highly reviewed movies this upcoming Friday. The movie Black Panther has already begun to catch the attention of critics everywhere with its brilliant casting and unique storyline. The movie is set in a technologically advanced African nation known as Wakanda. Here, it follows the journey of the Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman, as he is drawn into a conflict that puts the fate of Wakanda in jeopardy. Washington Post writer Anne Hornday commented on the acting of Boseman by saying he played the role with unforced, charismatic ease. With a score of 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, audience members can be assured they will be in store for an excellent and exciting new action movie. That is all I have for you today, Carmel. Thank you for joining me on this entertainment update. Now back to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Alex.
That about wraps up today's show. If you'd like to keep up with CHTV, you can follow us on Twitter using the handle @CHTV and on Instagram using the handle @CarmelTV. Have a great day, Greyhounds.